super fucking Saturday, everyone. And this is episode 356 of 413 Sports Talk. What's good? Hope you're doing well. You know who it is. If you don't, I know why. What are we going to talk about today? The Celtics coming up short. Colin Kaepernick finally getting an opportunity to work out with an NFL team, the first time forever. Hold on, back up a little bit. They already signed Derek Carr, 3 years, $121 million extension, no trade clause in that, and so that's like basically saying that it's his team, you know what I mean? Barring, I would think, injury, there's just no reason why he's just going to all of a sudden play shit. I think even if Kaepernick did get signed, that would be the only path that he would have to start or play in a regular season NFL game ever again, honestly. Other than that, Derek Carr is literally in the driver's seat, no pun intended. So it's his team, and I think that's what it's going to be. It's pretty healthy anyway. He sucked early on in his career because he had no one to throw to. Other than that, I got news, scores from everything you love sports, and let's go with this episode. Jimmy Bucket's 47-point game on 20-37 shooting was what helped the Miami Heat win 111-103. Game 7 is Sunday, a series tied 3-3. I wonder how that's going to happen. I wonder how that match is going to turn out. LA Lakers hire Milwaukee Bucks assistant coach Darvin Ham as the team's new head coach. 4-year deal. The details of it were not made readily available to me, but as soon as I know, you'll know. Colorado Rockies are victorious again, beating the St. Louis Blues 3-2 and winning the series 4-2, moving on to the Western Conference Finals. I don't know why I said Rockies, I meant Avalanche, but I think it's pretty clean cut and dry that Colorado's going to win this entire thing. I don't even really see the Rangers doing anything against them. They're all starting to play like a real team up there in New York, and towards the end of the regular season, that was never more evident. And now that stuff is starting to become like common muscle twitch memory, all stuff that they're used to doing. So wouldn't be surprised if it goes that way. But it's not going to go that way because that's a whole different conference. I confused East with West for a second. Anyway, the Cleveland Browns and tight end David Njoku, agreed to 4 years and $56.75 million contract extension. Why is that contract very important? I'll tell you why. That forever seals the fate on quarterback Baker Mayfield and basically him being a starter of the Cleveland Browns, which we already knew was kind of like fucked up because they signed Deshaun Watson to $230 million contract with every penny of it guaranteed, while still keeping him on the roster, which, you know, is a little dirt on his new suede shoes, if you will. And now teams are not clamoring up to pay the rest of Baker's contract, which is about between 6 and 8 point something million. Teams are not wanting to pay that. It's basically going to total up to 9. The difference between 6 and 9 is $3 million. But we are just sports fans and analysts and things of that such. We're not GMs. We're not vice presidents, owners of the teams. The ones that make those huge decisions. But I did say a month ago it was going to get dark for him, and here we are. No team wanting to pay that much money for a guy who's not guaranteed to start for them. And if you look across the league, honestly, most quarterback spots are had, honestly. If you think there are any quarterback competitions, do me a favor and leave them in the comment section of this episode if you can. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but if you do, that's cool too. Bruin star Brad Marchand will likely be out 6 to 7 months after his hip surgery, which the procedure was just done yesterday. Expect him to be back a little after the start of the season, as we try to make another run at the Stanley Cup Finals. Carolina Hurricanes look to end the series tonight. with that 3-2 series lead going into Game 6 later at 8. Ludlow Lions are Class B champions of girls tennis after beating Northampton 3-2. Shout out to them Lady Lions. They do it again. And finally, the Ludlow Lions, the boys, beat Agawam 3-1 in Class B volleyball finale. They are the champions once again. Shout out to the Agawam Brownies, that volleyball team. Woo. What else do we have for anything else? Nope, that's it. Let's talk NBA. Miami for Boston 111-103. Game 7's tomorrow at 8. Anybody want to take a bet? Let's go. I think the Heat end this one, honestly. That's it for NBA, because you already know the Western Conference has been decided, because the freaking Golden State Warriors really know how to close out games. NHL, Colorado 3, St. Louis 2. Colorado wins the series 4-2 to advance to the Western Conference Finals against the Edmonton Oilers. It's not going to be an easy series. It's going to be a fun series, but it's not going to be an easy go, as was this one against the St. Louis Blues. Edmonton scores a lot more. They keep everything in front of them defensively on the ice, which usually leads to traps. And, once they've gotten a decent point margin in between their opponents, you're not really coming back from, all in your face defense every fucking 5 seconds. So that's what they do, and they won that series, and they advance. They're one series away from the Stanley Cup Finals. And that's it for NHL. MLB, Cincy over San Francisco 5-1. Cleveland and Detroit was postponed. Baltimore 12, Boston 8. Fuck. Yanks 2, Tampa Bay Rays 0. Mets 8, Philly 6, Atlanta 6, Miami 4, Twins 10, Royals 7, St. Louis 4, Milwaukee 2, Toronto 4, LA Angels 3. That was a great game, but the Angels kind of coughed and choked at the end. Just saying. Seattle over Houston 6-1, Dodgers over Arizona 6-4. It was another great game, and Arizona is an up-and-coming team, which everybody should start putting their eyes to. San Diego over Pittsburgh 4-3. Texas over Oakland 8-5, and that does it for the MLB. WNBA, Indy over LA 101-96. Seattle over New York in overtime 79-71. Connecticut had the night off. NCAA baseball, TSA, University of Texas at San Antonio, I believe. Beat Southern Miss 14-6. Notre Dame over Virginia 3-0. Wake Forest over Miami 16-3. Texas A&M over Alabama 12-8. And UNC over Virginia Tech 10-0. Virginia Tech was ranked number 3. Crazy. And then Tennessee losing 2 weeks ago to fucking Coastal Carolina, I believe it was. It's rough stuff, man. These ranked teams just dropping to nobody. That's it for baseball. NCAA baseball. I'm sorry. Virginia Tech and Florida suspended at 6-0 in the 4th inning. Oklahoma over UCF 8-0. Texas over Arkansas 3-1. Northwestern over Arizona State 4-3, and Oklahoma State over Clemson 5-1. UCLA beat Duke 3-2. It was an upset. Nobody thought UCLA was going to win. And that is it for NCAA stuff. Western Mass Sports softball. Gateway over Ware 8-5. Mount Everett over Central 16-6. Wow. Oof. Pope Francis over Belchertown 13-1, and that'll be that. Girls tennis Class B final round. I have Ludlow over Northampton 3-2. Boys baseball, Drury over Athol 6-0. South Hadley over Chicopee Comp 4-1, and Agawam over Amherst 6-4. Volleyball. Class B final, Ludlow over Agawam 3-1, and that does it for Western Mass Sports. And now on to NFL's 32-32. Today I bring you guys the San Francisco 49ers. It should be fun. I really don't like it. Most Dallas fans, most NFC fans really fucking hated the Niners last year, and for good reason. What a little run they went on towards the end of the regular season, and a little bit into the postseason as well. They were 10-7 in last year's inaugural 17-game season, which was good enough for third place in the NFC West and a playoff berth as well. Wide receiver Deebo Samuel took the league by storm, showcasing his ability to be an extremely effective and elusive runner, gaining 365 yards on 59 attempts and 8 tugs. Not to mention, As a wideout, he hauled in 77 passes on 121 targets for 1,405 yards and another 6 touchdowns. And with last year's moving up to draft Trey Lance, in the recent comments made by Coach Kyle Shanahan, seems as though the Trey Lance era is soon to start. This season, who knows? They also have Brandon Ayuk and Ray McLeod as viable options at wide receiver as well. Tight end George Kittle is healthy and should return to full form quickly. He's healthy. It's crazy. He's going to regain that spot as one of the league's best tight ends, in my opinion. I think so. Injury stopped him from making that possible in 2021 and 2020 kind of too. Maybe even 2019, but we're going to be that strict with him. Running game and defense are filled with stars, so let's see what they did for the draft this year to add to that pool. The trades with the Atlanta Falcons and who else was in that draft 2020? The reason, and then when they moved up to get Trey Lance, yes. That's one of the many reasons of why they didn't have a first-round pick or really didn't have a great draft, but here we go. Notable guy, as you know from my top 10 edge rushers list, Drake Jackson out of USC. They took him at 61st overall pick, third round. Tyron Davis-Price, halfback at LSU. I don't really know too much about him. Danny Gray at SMU is a wideout, 105th overall, 134th. Spencer Burford, offensive lineman from UTSA. Do know a little bit about him. He was the best lineman that's people have said have ever played for that school. And I know this football program's young, but him being able to be where he was, the 134th overall pick, I think that's a no-brainer right there. Shore up your offensive line. Samuel Womack, corner out of Toledo, 172, 187. And Nick Zackledge, interchangeable interior lineman out of Fordham. Kalia Davis, defensive tackle, defensive end, kind of mixture out of UCF, 220th. Tariq Castro Fields, a corner out of Penn State. I do know about him because he used to be the star for special teams. Played along guys like Jahan Dotson, and then the other safety he got to in the 4th round. I can't believe I'm not his name up. Anyway, finally they took Brock Purdy, quarterback out of Iowa State, 262 overall. Coming out of high school, Brock Purdy was said to be the next Brady. Every intangible that a quarterback needed he had, but he kind of got a little pig-headed. Injury. Didn't successfully rehab his knee, and it was basically just a whole bunch of fluff. Now he has his back against the wall again, and he has a chance to, at least if Trey Lance struggles early, maybe have a shot at a start this year. But that's going to come with a lot of work in the offseason and the training camps as they come up at the end of July. And this concludes episode 356 of 4-3 Sports Talk. We did the San Francisco 49ers in the draft. Love you all. Wishing them health, wealth, and success. It's Raheem here, and I'll see you tomorrow with 357. Have a good night.